Hi there, I'm bringing you this amazing book, A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Brigid Kemmerer, and I have to say that I completely love this one. If I love the first one, A Curse So Dark and Lonely, I have to say that I love this one even better. When I read the first one, I was amazed by everything that she put into the book, this retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and I love the idea that Harper, the princess, was actually someone who had a chronic illness, because as you can see by my tired face today, I also suffer from chronic illnesses. So for me, that was what called me to that book, to the first book, because I feel like this kinship with her, because representation it's very important, and not only in gender representation or in race or in having lesbian or gay relationships, but also including things like poverty or chronic illnesses or how different people really are from each other, culture, religion. So yeah. Okay, that was what attracted me to the first book, and I have to say that I did love that one. But I had everyone was Team Rhen and Team Grey, and I have to say I was Team Grey, and I was anxious to see the second book because I knew it was about him, and I have to say the book doesn't disappoint. It's narrated by different voices, it has multiple point of views as the first one had, and we are going to be alternating between Grey and Lia Mara. And I love that because it helps you have this look inside their minds and feel what they are feeling in a more intimate way, because you have this whatever scene you are reading, and you have Grey's interpretation of it, and then you have Lia Mara's, and you can reconstruct also the fact that they come from different parts of the reign, from enemies to friends to lovers troop. I have to say that I love that because it allows me to see more about Lia Mara's reign and what she has at home and how she was raised and everything about her part of the world, and it gave me a wider scope of what she has been through with her mother and everything. And I love that I can see that from her point of view, because in the first book I honestly hated her kingdom and everything that was on it. So yeah, for me it was nice to have this other point of view and to get to know this character because she's amazing. And for Grey, okay, Grey is amazing. I mean, I love him. He's an amazing character, and I have to say that in this book we are going to see how far he goes from the first pages to the end, and I love his evolution as a character, as a human being, as a person who is being served with something he doesn't want, but during the book he begins to see the world through another eyes. He's influenced by the people who is around him, and he begins to see that maybe he has to step up and be the man he knows he is. So yeah, I love it. I have to say that this book has a more darker tone than the first one, and this is something that I also enjoyed. We are going to find lots of references. I'm not going to be a spoiler in the review, but we are going to find lots of references about going to war. There is this tension between different kingdoms, and even between Rhen and Grey and what they both represent, because if you remember from the first book, Rhen discovers that he is not the firstborn, that there is another one, and that he is the heir to the throne, and we learn that it's Grey, but he doesn't know it yet, and he's going to discover it in this book, obviously. And there is going to be this fight between them and the threat of war looming behind. So yeah, it is very it's a very strong book, and it's a very darker book. And I have to say, as I said, that I love that we have this undertone of having thoughts, of having fear, of being confronted with the idea that everything we love, that we have come to accept as real, can be changed and can be erased. And I love that during the book we are told this different, using these different point of views, we are going to see that despite one side sees the other side as the bad people or bad guys, all of them are people, and all of them are going to go to war because someone decides so. And we have to remember that there is people who suffer the consequences of when there's nations going to war, and everyone is human, and we should find a way just to talk with each other and just lend a hand, offer peace instead of offering a war and guns and everything. So yeah, I have to say that I love this book. I love also the secondary characters. We are going to see a lot more of Jacob, that's Harper brother, and his boyfriend Noah, and I have to say that I love also the arc and the evolution. And there is lots of new characters that we are going to come to love or to hate, depending on the characters. And I really need the third book now, because the way this one ends, it's like, oh my god. I mean, I love that the author, that Brigid, hasn't rushed anything. I love that the characters have had a space in this book to grow comfortable with their own skins, and I love how representation and individuality too are represented here. What I mean is, we have representation because we have different cultures, we have different kind of relationships, we find different ways of living, of seeing the world, but also we have individuality. What I mean by that is that Gray is a character that learns from everyone around him, but he also has his core, his way of thinking, and he uses that, and he knows his own strengths and his own weaknesses, and he tries to do the best he can with everything he's given. And the same can be said about Lia Mara and her sister and everyone. So I love that the characters have their own uniqueness and their own individuality, and that they know how to play with themselves. That sounded very weird. What I wanted to say is that you know what I say, right? Okay. That they know how to be themselves, and they also know, some of them, how to play best with a team. So yeah, also we are going to find a lot of topics like family, not only those families we are born into, but those we chose by blood. We are going to find the idea of expectations, when sometimes parents put a lot of pressure onto someone because they want that person to be exactly molded like they expect the person to be. And we are going to see these people rebelling and saying, I am my own person and I want to do what I think is right, not what you are forcing me to do. And we are going to see rivalry between people who were family and now find each other in opposite sides of this battle, of this wall, of whatever you want to call it. And we are going to see lots of interesting things, and I'm going to shut up because I could keep on talking about this book a lot, but I don't want to be spoilery. I think maybe I was spoilery about the war thing, but I don't know, maybe it says something in the summary of the book. I hope it does. But anyway, if you like Brigid Kemmerer, you're going to love this one. If you have read the first one, you're going to love this. And if you're looking for a book that's amazing, that pulls you in and doesn't let you go until you end it, with amazing characters, amazing growth, amazing narrative, and an amazing storyline, just pick this one because you're going to love it. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye!